But we begin this morning with the growing number of traumatic brain injury patients. Nearly 2 million Americans suffer such injuries from all causes every year. But now one Long Island chef is cooking up a loving recipe showing the path to recovery.
All over, wherever you want.
Okay.
Have fun with it.
Formerly trained chef Catherine D. Giovanni loves preparing food of every kind. She shared her passion with fellow patients being treated for traumatic brain injuries inside Transitions of Long Island in Manhasset. It's where Catherine learned to walk and speak again.
6 years ago, I was hit by a drunk driver. Without a doubt, in mere seconds, my life changed forever.
Doctors said she had only a 5% chance of living. These pictures were taken within the weeks after the near-deadly crash when Catherine was unable to control her hands, had trouble seeing, and suffered a diminished sense of smell.
When I lost my sense of smell, I needed to find food again to find myself again.
She began by writing a food book, including recipes like her childhood favorite, s'mores.
How can you not like marshmallows? But for me, s'mores brings me back to childhood.
Catherine's doctor says her progress since has been remarkable.
She's driving again independently, living independently.
Catherine is earning a teacher's degree with plans to instruct brain injury patients on how to live again.
I heard her story and I thought that it was pretty amazing that she, survived it.
Equally amazed is Catherine's mother.
What she went through for 6.5 years, we're very blessed that she's with us today to do something like this for herself.
But not just for herself, for anyone who wants to eat lovingly prepared culinary delights.
There's always room for dessert.
No question about that. Joining us now is our chef of honor, Catherine D. Giovanni, and her physician, Dr. Jean Elbaum from North Shore Transitions of Long Island, and welcome to the show. I got to ask you right away, everybody around here loved that story. We're all inspired by what you've been through. How did the s'mores go over, though?
Oh my God, it was gone. Yeah. I came back, there was none left. I was hoping I would get a little nibble. Nope.
You said it's a childhood memory for you. Explain.
I have always been obsessed with marshmallows since I was a little kid, so definitely you'd leave me alone and my dad would find me somehow either toasting a marshmallow on top of the stovetop, microwaving it, watching it explode. Marshmallows have always been my thing.
Yeah, that's a holiday memory that a lot of us can relate to without question. Dr. Elbaum, Dr. Jean Elbaum, you've helped to take care of Catherine, but take folks back to what happened to her almost 6.5 years ago and what kind of condition she was in.
Catherine had a severe traumatic brain injury. The continuum goes from mild to moderate to severe, so she had the worst type of injury you could have. And she was in a coma for a lengthy period of time. She got great continuity of care from Glen Cove Hospital to North Shore University Hospital, and then she went to Burke Rehab, and then her last stop was outpatient rehab at Transitions of Long Island.
Well, Catherine, just tell by looking in your eyes that it's your sheer determination that's a big part of it. But, Doctor, we are going to want to talk about what kind of treatment that has successfully helped her get to where she is now. Not entirely recovered, but able to stand up and speak to the world about what she's been able to get through. And do you remember that at all, the accident?
None. Not a bit.
Blank, completely blocked? You've forgotten it or altogether?
I have no recollection of any of it.
It was a drunk driver. What, a head-on collision?
Head-on collision. Swerved out of his lane into my lane, drove on top of my car and pushed me into a fence.
What physical injuries did you suffer besides the head injury?
I had a collapsed left lung. I had the fractured and dislocated left forearm. I had, actually, this side was smashed. I had facial lacerations. I had a lacerated liver. Blood clots had started.
Oh, that is just awful. And, for anybody who's thinking about having anything to drink this holiday, this is what happens when things go wrong. People's lives get changed like this. It's a lesson for all of us, and terribly sorry that ever happened to you. But the amazing thing is, a lot of people sit back and their lives are gone sober. In instances like this. I'm not wrong about that, Dr. Elbaum. But that's not the case with Catherine. How come?
Many reasons. She got the right help right away. She's determined. She's determined by nature, and I think that quality even magnified following her injury. So nothing was going to get in her way.
Well, yeah, and I've seen that myself, but still, you had to sit in hospital beds. You had to try to, you lost control of numerous senses. You lost vision. You had trouble controlling your limbs, and you even lost your sense of smell. And for you, that had particular meaning. Explain why.
I'm a chef, so my sense of smell is my everything. I was devastated when I couldn't smell. I felt like I was disconnected from the world. I don't know if it was ever actually gone. I could always still get a little tingle when I was around pneumonia, but...
How did you get it back?
I woke up one day, it was actually 4.5 years in, and I am having a cinnamon bun from Dunkin' Donuts, just heated up, and I open it up, and for a brief few seconds, I can smell it, and I think I'm being tricked. Take a picture, because I don't think it's real. It's not for another few months that another scent comes back, but from that point forward, scents began to come, and within year 5, I had a scent every day.
Well, we know you love cooking so much. You have this book right here. You wrote this book, which I think is pretty impressive. How do you say the name of it? Mise en place of life?
Mise en place of life.
And what does it mean?
It is everything in its place. So
well,
it's...
no question about that. And it has recipes, and it has pictures of Catherine and friends and the people who've helped her. Dr. Elbaum, what kind of treatment did Catherine receive, and what made it so successful in this case? I would imagine some of this is probably fairly new.
Well, our program has been around for 28 years. And Catherine got a combination of all different types of therapy. She received physical therapy to address pain issues that she had. She received speech-language therapy primarily to work on not only word finding, but also short-term memory difficulties that was a challenge for you. You also received occupational therapy to work on fine motor coordination.
I mean, you got to get up every day when your body's telling you you can't do it, and just do it.
Yeah.
I've watched people in therapy like this, and I hurt my back once and saw people with more severe injuries, and just the willpower. That's what drove you, wasn't it?
I've always been a firecracker, without a doubt. So with the TBI, it just only intensified.
Well, now you're earning a teacher's degree. Who are you going to teach, and how do you think your experience might help others?
Well, I hope it will, without a doubt. I would love to be able to work with other TBI patients. I would love to be able to show them that you got to keep fighting. And I would love to encourage other chefs that if this is their passion, to go for it, because the food industry is an exciting industry. It's a huge, huge options.
Well, I know before your accident you were ready to open a restaurant. I wouldn't doubt if it still can happen for you, Catherine. People are going to hear your story, and you have real talent at it, too. There's no question about that. How do you think this is helping the other patients, Dr. Elbaum?
When someone has a severe brain injury, they have so many losses, and they just don't know if they're going to be able to recover again. And if you see someone like Catherine, who has been kind of broken down, pick up all the pieces and rebuild a life, it's very inspirational. So every client who was there, who saw her, was very moved by her.
Well, we're so delighted to have you. Thank you so much. It's our pleasure to meet you. We're really inspired by your courage. Dr. Elbaum, everything you've done for her, Catherine and the other patients, it really puts a smile on people's faces. Happy Thanksgiving to both of you.
Thanks.
Although seeing your s'mores again has made me hungry all over. Catherine DiGiovanni and Dr. Jean Elbaum, thank you so much for reminding us why we love s'mores and so much more, actually. And